From downtown Scranton, this is Northeast Current with John Baldino. WQPX invites you to join John and his guests as they explore public affairs, current events, and arts and culture in northeastern and central Pennsylvania. Now, let's meet today's guests on Northeast Current.
Good morning, welcome to Northeast Current. I'm John Baldino. The book, When Coal Was Queen, The History of Queen City, Olyphant, Pennsylvania, by Jay Luke. And he is my guest this morning. Jay, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here. Tell me a little bit about the book, When Coal Was Queen.
Well, I'm part of an organization, I guess I'll start there, called the Olyphant Coal Miners Memorial Association. And basically how it started, a friend of mine and I were in Marywood at a photography class. And, you know, we thought it would be kind of a cool idea to take some photos of, you know, like historical places around town. And literally before we got our cameras out and got our film, it was like, you know, everything was gone, everything was knocked over, or, you know, new developments built over, and it kind of made us a little bit sad that we didn't get to it first, you know, before a lot of that stuff had happened, of course. But, you know, also that younger generations would never get to see those kind of things. There are no stories behind them. And, you know, when we got our committee together, a lot of like-minded older folks in the town, you know, sort of had the same thing, like to get a memorial together. And when we had done that, we got a statue that we put up right on River Street as you're entering Olyphant over the Lackawanna River there. And, you know, we did it just basically on the funding of people alone, which was really, you know, what we were shooting for, because even within our committee, a lot of people didn't think that. People had giving enough heart in town, you know. But, you know, once that came about, we were very shocked to find that we had extra money. And what we wanted to do was, you know, just kind of give a little nod to everybody who donated and made this, like the People's Monument is what we're dubbing it now. And they wanted to kind of put together just like a pamphlet sort of thing with everybody's name. And, you know, I kind of thought it would shortchange everything to do that. So in addition to that, we kind of compiled a history book of the town, which was no easy task either, but, you know, it was.
So it really started with that monument and
yes.
going into from a pamphlet with everybody's name.
Right, like this, believe it or not, was the afterthought of it all. And, you know, we never thought we'd get as far as the statue, so it's.
And it's over 140 pages. Amazing history. I would love to talk about every little piece that's in this, but we'd be here for about 5 hours.
Yes, exactly.
Well, when you were doing all the research, I mean, you actually have, there are actual clippings here from newspapers, there are only photographs. When you were doing this research, was there anything that really jumped out at you, either as a surprise or something that you just really cherished that you discovered?
Well, actually, the whole thing was kind of a, you know, I think the biggest history lesson I've ever had in my life. I found out a lot about, you know, fact-checking, more or less. I was, right up until press time, I find conflicting things through the previous publications that were out about, you know, existing in Olyphant. And, you know, I was trying to correct it right up until deadline time. And just as, you know, I was ready to hit the presses, I went and thought as a nice afterthought it'd be cool to kind of take pictures of historical markers around town. And one of them was for the first woman ever in the U.S. Navy, named Loretta Walsh. And, you know, I went home after I took all my shots, and I was like, something here isn't matching up. And the name on the plaque was spelled wrong. And, you know, I went home and I was like, geez, did I get that wrong? I couldn't figure out if I had it wrong, and I had it right. And so it was kind of very gratifying, but also very sad at the same time. It's like, you know, Jesus, the whole idea was to kind of give this lady a little honor.
And they got it. Well, at least you know you got it right.
Yes,
it's right in the book.
I mean, the only thing I'm sorry for is that not everybody's going to read the book, but, you know, people walk by that sign all the time, so that's good. I'm trying to get the wheels in motion to get that changed. So. I feel it'd be just, you know, it's in such an injustice. You know?
So do you think this is this one of many? Will you be doing more projects like this, more books?
I kind of hope so. It kind of took me by surprise because, you know, I'm very active in art. I have a band, a full-time graphic design job and stuff like that. So this is what I was doing in my part-time for 2 years. And, you know, obviously if I had my full-time just focus on that, it would probably be a lot bigger like I intended, but, you know, deadlines and such. But, yeah, as you can imagine, trying to compile anything about a whole town, it's next to impossible. I wanted to start, you know, from the Indian tribes all the way on up, and, you know, it's just too much too soon kind of to get it all up. But there's been a lot of talk about doing more. Like what I was looking to do when we got our donation books about family members and such. And everybody remembers the miners so fondly, and I kind of thought a lot more of that, more of the human element would be, we're looking for in the second edition if it does happen. So
That'd be a very interesting one to take.
I hope so.
There'd be a lot of stories, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, as I was reading them, I was tearing up. Like, some of the stories were incredibly sad, but people have a real attachment to the whole mining world.
I'm sure there's sad stories. I'm sure there's some good stories.
Oh yeah, of course. Just like anything else.
Was there a story that touched you more than any other?
Just more or less a lot of miners' daughters, talking about either their father that made it out of the mines or one who met an untimely demise there, and they just remember things so fondly. And you would think that something's a relative of yours, you wouldn't look back on it so fondly, but it's something that a lot of people weren't. It's not like we're ignoring it, but it's just not a lot of people are aware of the past. I think in our town, like for the younger kids, it's really what it was kind of tailored to, just so they kind of know where they're coming from.
It's such a rich part of our culture.
Yes, it is.
You've really done us all a favor in capturing it, in this book. And I appreciate you coming here to share it with us this morning. So when Volume 2 comes out, please come back and let us know. Let us know when you start working on it.
Absolutely.
We'll maybe get a sneak preview of it.
Start sleeping first.
Well, yeah, get some rest, and then come back and let us know about the second edition. Anyway, the book is When Coal Was Queen by Jay Luke. You can pick it up on Amazon.com. Jay, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you.
We'll take a short break. We'll be right back with more Northeast Current after this.